Well, I've put the first video up in 2023 in our channel, and we've already had some views and some likes and some comments. God, it took me ages to make that video. I got really used to video creation last year on the trail, but I'm definitely out of practice, so it took me a very long time, and I need to speed up, otherwise I'll never get them produced. Gosh, it looks a bit ominous behind me, doesn't it? Well, summer is rapidly disappearing. We're firmly into autumn here in New Zealand. One thing I did want to mention, which I omitted in my roundup of some of the things we've done in 2023, is just to mention something about the friendships and some people whom we met on the trail last year. And I want to start with Jen Sharp. Jen was a very enthusiastic subscriber who offered me all sorts of positivity and encouragement on the channel while we're walking, but also drove an hour to pick us up from, I want to say Great Barrington, somewhere in Massachusetts, but drove us to Walmart, brought us cold beer to drink on a rather hot day, and was just incredibly hospitable and a wonderful trail angel. Well, Jen flew to New Zealand to visit her daughter, who lives here, and we were really lucky to be able to host Jen and her family for lunch here in Piha and to go for a bit of a walk. So that was wonderful. The second person I want to mention is Patrick, also known as Papa Foxtrot. We met Patrick on the long trail part of our Appalachian Trail adventure in Vermont, and in fact we bumped into Patrick a number of times on our walk. Well, Patrick came and visited us in New Zealand as well. He flew out for 2 weeks. He planned an adventure in Queenstown. He walked around the bottom of the South Island, and he came and spent some time with us in central North Island and up in Auckland, and we did a bit of walking with him, gave him a few New Zealand adventures, helped him out when his flight was cancelled twice. It was great to see you, Patrick, and I know that we'll see Patrick this year when we're in the United States. And the other person I'm going to mention is Chief. We walked with Chief a lot towards the end of our hike, and we really enjoyed Chief's company. He became our tramily on the trail. We've stayed in touch with Chief. He's just done the Pinhoti Trail, and we know that we are going to catch up with and spend time with Chief when we're in the United States walking this time. Maybe walking, I'm not sure what, but the relationships that you build on the trail, even when you live on the other side of the world, are real relationships, and they're enduring. And I think that's one of the joys of meeting people in an environment where you've got time and you can have some really interesting conversations and get to know people in a relaxed way that's not intense, takes away all confrontation, and just allows you to just sit with people and get to know them. And so I continue to train. I can't train so much at Piha because the trails are closed after the cyclone, but we are blessed in so much as the trails around our apartment in the city are still beautiful. Auckland's a beautiful city, and this is Mount Eden, or Mangawhau, which is just around the corner, an easy distance from where we stay in town. Good morning. It's a bit breezy on the beach this morning, so hopefully you can hear me. But I'll give you a quick update about what Kiwis in the woods have been up to this week. Well, Joe's been really busy at work, so we've had a bit on. But between the just the complexities and the busyness of life, we've been getting closer to just refining what we're taking. It's really important that we make all the decisions and decide what we're going to take clearly before we leave for the United States, because once it's in our pack, and we either need to throw it away or give it away when we get there if it's surplus to requirements. So we've been spending some time on finalising what we're packing. We've spent a bit of time thinking about food because we didn't eat that well on the trail last year, and we're just thinking about how we can do that better and eat. Well, it's largely about protein actually, how we can get some protein in our systems, and find some good food. And we've started thinking about the logistics of getting ourselves from New Zealand to the start of the Appalachian Trail at Amicalola Falls. We have purchased tickets to fly to the United States. We are going via Houston, and from Houston we pick up a flight to Atlanta. We get in late, so we've booked a hotel in Atlanta for the night, and we are determining how we get from Atlanta the next morning and how we get to the start of the walk. On the way to the start of the walk, we need to get ourselves gas canisters for our cook system, maybe a few snacks, and try and get Joe's T-Mobile phone to work. My eSIM that I used last year is working on my mobile phone, so I have a functioning American phone number, which I'm paying for at the moment but not using, so that's good. We have booked accommodation for the night before we step out on the trail at a place called Amicalola Falls Lodge, I think. And so we've started getting closer to this, dealing with the specifics of how we make it happen. Some of the other things that we've been thinking about, obviously training. Joe's carrying an injury and it's a bit concerning. Probably the most important thing that he can do is to rest his foot and let that injury sort itself out. But I have concerns about that, and it's been stressing me out a bit. And Joe. He's unable to train. Well, he can't train because we've got to rest his foot. So we're not going to hit the trail as fit as we were last year, but that's okay. The other thing in terms of training, I said that the trails are all broken and destroyed. So I've been doing a bit of urban walking in the city, up some of the hills and mountains we've got locally in Auckland City, which is beautiful, but it's just not the same as here. So it's Wednesday the 5th of April, and today I'm very lucky because I have the opportunity to travel with the local park ranger. You might hear a helicopter in the background. That is a helicopter owned by the council that is currently doing some repair on a track right up the top behind me. I can see large pieces of wood being carried up and dropped up there behind me. I was so lucky to spend the day with the local park ranger and just see the kind of work that goes into maintaining our trails. It was incredible. There is damage on most of the trails, but I have every confidence that the trails will be repaired and hopefully we'll be back out there enjoying them as soon as possible. So while I was out enjoying the trails again with the local ranger, Joe's been giving some serious thought to our gear and what's going to go into our packs. So Joe, I've been talking about some of the changes that we've made or decisions that we've made this week about what we're taking to the trail. What have you been working on? Because I know you've been busy.
No, flash. Lots and lots of things.
School bus.
Going on. The first stop though, on the power line, is one of our native birds, kuru, wood pigeon.
Kiraroo.
Yeah, look at it, beautiful.
I can't find it. Hang on a second.
Oh, that looks good in a pot. Oh, I didn't say that.
I can't find it. But anyway,
Cool.
back to you.
So you've been asking me lots of questions about gear and okay, yeah, we did the what was it, 665 miles last year on the trail.
850, man.
Oh, 865 miles last year. Remember every one of them. I had issues with packs. The first one actually that I trained in for a couple of years decided to go boo and broke. And then with supply issues at the time, right across the trail, we just couldn't get a pack to fit, so it was a bit of a nightmare. Replaced the pack, and then last minute I decided to go back to something which I had in the cupboard, and it's the Hyperlite, the wind range, I think 4,400.
Maybe pen.
And hey, light as bingo. Obviously there's two of us hiking, so I've got a 3-person tent. It's the MSR Featherlite.
That's a change, isn't it?
It's a change from last year. It's a new release they've done. It's lighter again. It's still luxury. It's a 2-skin tent, but it has space. 2 of us in there. We don't get to murder each other, which is really, really important. Very, very basic. I've actually got my pack down to 16.5 pounds, and that's carrying the 3-person tent for both of us, and also the cook system for both of us.
Can you remember what it was last year?
I'll add 10 pounds onto that,
Yeah.
or close to 30 pounds
Yeah.
total. So litre and a half of water, so what's that, another 3 pounds there. Flash will carry quite a bit of the main meals. She's got to earn her rights to be on the trail. I'm not her donkey, pack horse.
You're my Sherpa.
Well, I thought you were going to call me an ass. Not that. So we're going really, really basic. So if I take out the tent and the cook system, I'm just really, really light. Got a 20-degree quilt, Enlightened quilt. The very thin liner, middle of the road Thermorest, and so things are really, really basic. It's just a simple set of clothes for camp, including a puffy in case it gets cold, and basically that's it. Really, really going light.
Okay, so let's just think about what are some of the specific things that you've decided.
Hello, Flash.
Hello, Charge.
You've been asking me a few things.
Yeah.
I really like the Ceenock bag. I have the our filter, which is the bee-free. Obviously, this unit you can scoop. You can get water from anywhere. It's quick and fast. And you can filter into your drinking bottles as you're walking if you want to. Squeeze it down. Used it last year, using it again. So the other thing I do too is really the electrolytes and anything else you want to shake. Collapses down, weighs nothing, easy. So filtration system on the go, and then normally I'll carry another water bottle, just a litre, something like that. Something which we really, really enjoy is just one of the Hyperlite food pouches. It does make a difference, keeps your food hot, cooks it evenly. This is probably one of my luxury items. You're eating, you might as well enjoy yourself. From there, simple MSR pocket rocket stove. I'll actually lose the bag, there's even more weight gone. Just simply, good stove. Very simple. Knife. We both enjoy the handles here. Being from New Zealand, we love our hot cup of tea in the morning. Nothing worse than holding a hot cup. So great, and that's it. There's our pot. Boil the water. We just boil water. We don't do any other cooking. It's all freeze-dried food, and go from there. So very, very simple. Obviously, utensils. We're moving away from going from a spork to a spoon. Oh, I didn't realise I had 2 there. Simply on the basis you get to get all the food out of the bag, which is really important. Where a fork, half of it falls off, especially when you're trying to actually have something like soup. It doesn't work.
And it can poke holes in things as well, can't it?
It does. So there's my food bag, and there's my beer rope or hangy rope. Easy as. From there is simple mat for Thermorest. I'll take this out of the actual bag. I normally just put a rubber band around it. If that, again, get rid of weight, which is what it's all about.
What's that loud drumming in the background, honey?
Where we live here in Piha, we actually have the pleasure of having the School of Rock across the road. So it's actually Rob, he's the tutor, and he's teaching the local kids to play music instruments, mainly drums, guitar. So we hear this after school every Monday to Friday, Saturday mornings, and we love it. It's just makes you feel part of the community. It's awesome. So fanny pack, just put everything I need in for the day around the waist, and nothing's packed down in that or squashed down. I always put my quilt into another liner bag. And that's just purely a safety thing, comfort thing to keep it dry. I love these bags. So these are all my camp food, nice and simple.
Camp clothes, darling.
Camp food, camp clothes. Yeah, I'm not going to eat those. But this is my pillow. So you shove all your smelly clothes in there, puff or whatever, and you've got a nice soft pillow.
It's all fleecy, isn't it?
Which is good. So just to show, a raincoat, Patagonia, Puffy, and basically undies, shorts, and a t-shirt. That is my spare set of clothes. Nothing much at all. This here is simply my electronics, so chargers, adapters, a battery pack, real basic first aid, and repair kit, and then personal hygiene. Just mainly drugs, proper drugs. So on. In the back here, something I enjoy doing is sitting down, having a break. I like to put my butt on that, poles for the tent, and ditty bag there, which is cool. And finally, I've taken the tent out of its tent bag and I put it into the squash bag. You can actually really pack this down. I like to actually keep the pack loaded below my shoulders, so the weight's actually sitting lower down rather than up. So which is great. So I really like I said, I'm about 16.5 pounds. I've got a few things to throw out. I reckon I'll get down to 16 pounds before we hit the trail. Do that, then to me I'm going to be a comfortable hiker, not ultra light, but comfortable.
So we're nearly there. Our bags are packed. We've got a bit more training to do. We've got some people to say farewell to. And there's the not insignificant matter of a quick trip to Fiji for a very important birthday party. So I'll be back with a few more updates and then we'll head to the States and start walking. I can't